So without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce our first speaker today, Clara Hartling. She is a student at TU Berlin, who's one of our green chemistry commitment signers. And she's also done a lot of work in the green chemistry field. Namely, she is a founder of the Algae green chemistry group at TU Berlin. And so I will stop sharing my screen and I will hand it off to Clara to tell you a lot more about all the cool things that she's been doing.
Thank you for that introduction. Just see that I share the right screen. I hope everyone sees the right screen, right?
Looks great.
Yes, okay, perfect. So, hi everyone. I am very honored to be here and to share my story or the story of our university and the Green Chem AG that is still very new. And with that, I can definitely also say I am an undergrad. I am not a PhD student or so my information, my knowledge, and everything that I've been doing until now is not as full of chemistry content. It's a lot of action going on. I will not deny that. But yeah, so I won't be talking about a lot of chemistry content, just so you know. Okay. So first of all, I would just like to introduce myself. I just put 3 bullet points there, probably going to be talking more than those 3 bullet points. I just didn't really know how to put, yeah, how to put all the information there. So I am, like Nimrat said, Clara Hartling. I'm a chemical engineering student in Berlin at the TU University, and I am a single parent. And I work in a lot of volunteer-based student workplaces, and I have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things that I do. I'm sorry, my daughter just walked in. I hope she's gonna go back to the front. So yeah, to start somewhere, I'm so sorry. Give me please 2 seconds. Okay, I'm going to continue. So I didn't even start with chemistry after my school career, after I went to high school and I graduated. I actually started with veterinarian medicine, ironically, but the lab part of that was so much fun that I tended and thought about it, and I ended up doing chemical engineering. And at the moment, I am in semester, I think 7 or 8. I've stopped counting. But after I started studying at the TU Berlin, I joined a lot of groups, such as the Initiative for of Chemistry. That is a group of students helping other students to find their way in the university, to help them with exams and just starting their life in the education path that the university offers. We also founded the group Algae Equality. In case anyone has heard of that, a big deal also for us that I intend to combine with the Algae green chemistry, especially in the sense of showing a lot of young scientists how diverse the world is in science. And since we have a very limited way of seeing professors and seeing higher ed people in our university, at least I don't exactly know how the other German universities are, but we do not have a lot of women, and we definitely do not have any people of color or of other backgrounds, or very few. And so that group is also extremely important, and we are combining those with a few of our projects that we're doing at the moment. Other than that, I work in a research lab that I am obviously not allowed to talk about because it's not my research project. um, and also focused on sustainability. And yeah, in the end, me and a few other students who I will present to you founded the Algae Green Chemistry. And first, I would like to talk about the TU Berlin a bit. I would just like to introduce to the two projects. I have three names here because the Chemical Invention Factory, the second one, of which John Warner is a very important person. If you haven't heard of the Chemical Invention Factory, he was definitely part of the people who founded that group. And the Inco Lab, or the Chemical Invention Factory, is meant to help students that have sustainable ideas, sustainable visions for sorry, I'm gonna have to start that sentence again. So this project is supposed to promote chemical inventions from young visionary scientists. So if chemists, undergrads, grads, doctorates have ideas that they want to bring to the market, and sustainable ideas for energy efficiency or other other departments such as biology and physics, the INCU Lab and the Chemical Invention Factory is building up a project where they offer lab spaces to rent out to these students and have these students be able to use them to do their experiments and prove their theories. And this was a 5-year project, which just ended last year. And a few pretty successful groups came out of this INCO Lab test phase. And yeah, it definitely paid off. And with this, they got the okay to build the Chemical Invention Factory. So at the moment, it's resting because they are building the big building. I'm sorry, the big building for the Chemical Invention Factory. And other than that, we also have a program called Unisyscat at the TU Berlin, and that stands for Unifying Systems in Catalysis. And it unites the biologists, chemists, engineers, and physicists striving to revolutionize catalysis research. And a lot of our professors who are supporting our Algae Green Chem also work there. So also a very big part from green chemistry. And yeah, now to the Algae Green Chemistry. These are my co-founders, Clara Brockhaus and Philipp Höhne. And Clara and I are both chemical engineers, and Philip he has his Bachelor of Science and he is doing biochemistry in his master's. Yes, together we founded the green chemistry because we just had the need and had the feeling that it was necessary to spread the word of the importance of green chemistry. And even though we didn't exactly know to that time how much sustainable chemistry research the TU Berlin was doing, even if they're still doing a lot of stuff, they're not showing it. They're not letting the students know what's happening. They're not representing, or they're not showing how important it is and what we can accomplish if we go the same path, or what possibilities we have with sustainability and sustainable sciences. And I just, especially me, I just think it's really important to raise awareness in things like that. And So that was a very big point that we wanted to address and that we wanted to change and start having more students be aware of what we are doing here, for example, and joining and being able to change their way of learning or the path that they want to choose for their education later. So exactly, I am going to talk about our timeline. Is it the right page? Yes, it is the right page. Okay, I'm sorry. So it started, or the official start for the TU Berlin and the green chemistry commitments was in January 2021. We were the first, or our university was the first European green chemistry commitment signer, and still is the only German green chemistry commitment signer. So yeah, few months later, 3 months later, in April 2021, we launched our Algae Green Chemistry at the TU Berlin, introducing our green chemistry initiative. And yeah, exactly. We started with 3 founders and about, I think it was about 5 members that also wanted to join and were intrigued by what we had planned. It quickly grew. We had people, professors and doctorates, graduates, undergrads, people from outside of the university, from other universities who wanted to join. And at the moment, we are at about 30 members as it is. And what we did with our Algae Green Chemistry is we have different sections in our group itself. And so that we are able to distribute tasks and fulfill as many projects and have these projects actually happen instead of just talking about them, since we have a lot that we envision, I'll say. And this is part of the core group that was there from the beginning. And what we also thought was very important was social media presence. So we also have this web page that is available. It has all the information of what groups we have and what these groups do. We have mission statements, plans, goals, and our accomplishments, just like the events. All of them are easy to find on this web page. Of course, we're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, all of the social media networks. So yes, all this happened shortly before I actually also attended the first green chemistry commitment meeting. I think it was the 4th annual green chemistry commitment. And through this meeting, I didn't only start to realize how important it is to connect sustainability with education and research as the students see it, and not only as how the professors see it from their point of view, because they just have a much broader view than the students do, because we just come into the university and we do our stuff. We don't know what the professors are doing in their research activities. And the other part that I also just thought was very important, as I already mentioned, is just to realize what kind of a okay, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. If you haven't noticed, probably you did. I'm gonna have to start that thought again. I'm sorry. The other important realization that I had is that in industry and education and research, such as in professional activities for chemists, chemical engineers, all kinds of sciences, is that the view that the students have of the people that they're looking up to, that is incredibly important. And that view changed for me drastically the first time that I entered one of these green chemistry commitment meetings, because I just saw the diversity, as I had already mentioned, of professors and of professionals and doctorates and people investing their time and also investing their free time for all of these um, uh, for all of these events and for all these accomplishments. And I think that is also just very, very important. That is definitely also added. And so, yeah, I am very thrilled and happy to be part of this and to have started to join all of these commitment meetings. Um, so I just realized I'm done with this. Our next, the next thing in our timeline is the green chemistry course. We were able to introduce our first green chemistry course at the TU Berlin, first ever only about green chemistry, based upon the 12 principles of green chemistry, with Professor Schomecker and Professor Dries. Those are two professors who are also part of the Algae green chemistry, and then of course also Professor Warner, who was a guest professor, and he also held a few classes throughout the course. I was sadly not able to attend this semester, but I definitely look forward to it. And we're very proud that we were able to make this course happen in that small amount of time. But that wasn't the only thing that we were able to build up in less than a few months. We also have a project workshop. And the project workshop that this good friend of mine, Kaylee, and her friend Belin were able to build up over the few months in the summer is the workshop called Making Green at the TU Berlin. These university workshops have been offered at the TU and the FU Berlin since 1985. And these workshops are meant to be led by students. So these students are completely responsible for the entire content, for the entire way of learning and how the classes are offered to the students. And there's a professor who is more or less supervising this progress. And so, yes, they build up this workshop and it's being offered at the moment. They have a 2-year span, and if it is successful, it will be taken over into the actual curriculum. So we were actually able to build up 2 courses in a few months. And yes, last but definitely not least is our first online Green Career Cafe that we had last month. And it was with Professor Dries, who I already have mentioned, and Professor Ashley Oyevola. And it was a lot of fun. We talked about education and research, and we heard a lot about different research stories from Professor Oyevola is from Texas and Professor Dries from Berlin. And so we had a lot of different viewpoints of how sustainability in their research area is progressing, what their plans are, what they have done, what they want to do, and how they envision more sustainability to be to have that integrated into future courses and into future curriculums. So we still have a few career cafes to go. What we had envisioned is 4 different career cafes every year. And this first one, as you can see, is about research and education. After that, we will probably want to do a green career cafe about research. Sorry, I just said that. About industry, that was the second one. The third one would be about startups. And the fourth was, there were definitely 4, or were there 3? But we have, so the point, if I forgot the fourth now, then huh, I can't remember the fourth name. But our ideas with the Green Career Cafe is to pick out these different areas and not have a general cafe about professionals, professors, or doctors talking about their career path, but being able to show the students, okay, where do you want to go? What is your goal? Do you know in which direction you want to go? Or do you have an idea where you're leaning towards more? And just showing them what possibilities there are, what the options are once you finish with your degree. And now I remember the fourth, it was engineering, very important. And so yes, we plan to do our next Green Career Cafe in probably the next 2 months. And Beyond Benign was so kind to also promote our first Green Career Cafe and has offered to also promote the next one. So if you're interested, then it will definitely, you will be able to find it in the links from Beyond Benign. So exactly. Okay, these were the projects and the accomplishments that we've had over the last few months. It's almost been a year now. I hope I didn't forget anything. I am very nervous, so I think I forgot a few things. Maybe I can mention them later again. But for my last point, I just wanted to address the future plans and ideas. And so yes, like I have already mentioned, the Green Career Cafes, we definitely plan on continuing those and then also repeating them and hopefully making it into a tradition. And since we don't plan on being in university forever, and we also plan on having a chemical waste follow-up. So tracking the chemical wastes from our university, and also finding out where it goes. I think that's the part where we are failing at the moment, connecting to all of these firms and asking them what they're actually doing with all the waste. And yeah, that will be something that we want to build into our web page. For example, we definitely want to expand that and give the students as much information as possible about general green chemistry information, not only about us, but also about the 12 the 12 principles of green chemistry and things like that. There's definitely things that we still have to add. And one plan that I have, which is for me extremely important, is the combination between engineering and chemistry. I have the feeling that a lot of departments are separating these so drastically that it's extremely hard for the people that are trying to combine them, like chemical engineers, or just people who actually think that the other department is interesting. They're just making it very hard to connect these two fields. And there are not a lot of, or at least how I see it, I don't see a lot of possibilities to do these two at the same time and somehow combine them. And I think for the general state of sustainable future, for a sustainable for sustainable ideas that should be able that we hope to use to improve the world. Engineering and chemistry definitely has to work very close together, and that is something that I hope to, or I intend to somehow change in our university, especially because our engineering department has a huge sustainability department, and we didn't know that until a few months ago when we started with one of our engineering courses. And things like that are extremely sad, where I wonder why they don't want to share that, and that the lack of communication, yeah, that would just if we would just communicate more about things like that, I think a lot of students could benefit from that, and also just give others many more possibilities, especially people who know that they want to go in that direction. Um, I don't know if you have this in America, or I don't know how to translate it, say it that way. We have Ringvorlesungen, and Ringvorlesungen are just a reading where every week you have 1.5 hour reading from some kind of a professor. And in this case, we would want to have readings from different sustainability professors, doctorates, people in industry, where they tell us about what they're doing and about their story. So it would be something like these green career cafes that we intend to do, just that it would be something where you get credits for. And usually you don't get a lot of credits for that, but that would be another small course, say it, to attend for university. And I would also do it without the credits, because it's just, I think it's just super fascinating and really, really interesting just to hear other people's stories, and just to also hear how their paths didn't go straight, but that they also just diverged from where they wanted to go, and that maybe it didn't work out just like they had planned. But yeah, that's always very motivating to hear. Yeah, and two more ideas that are now from my private side too are that we definitely need more bachelor courses and curriculum options. I think in America that's the undergrad program and graduate program, I think. Um, and a lot of professors are working on implementing sustainable chemistry courses in the graduate program, so the master's, the last part of the studies. And I just think it's too late in the in it's not too late, but it's definitely better if we start earlier implementing sustainability in a lot of things, not only because of raising awareness, but I think that would benefit everyone. And yes, so like I said, through more connections, and also connecting the education levels is also definitely something that I also see as very, very important. And on that note, I am also building up my Green Chem school project as we speak. I will hopefully be able to do that for the first time, I hope in June or July. I'll have to see how the school times agree with me there. And that would be something where we invite school classes to university, talk to them about sustainability, find out where their knowledge is, and then try to fill in the gaps and try to show them a different viewpoint of sustainability, not only the same ride your bike, don't take the car, or close the refrigerator when you leave to put food onto the table, that they have a different view of what it means, what possibilities there are to be sustainable. And yeah, working with my old chemistry teacher is a lot of fun. So yes, that would be it from me. I am done.
Thank you very much, Clara. And it was really awesome to see just how much you and your team had been able to get done in such a short amount of time. So thank you so much for walking us through all of that. It's an incredible amount of work. We do have a couple minutes for questions. And I noticed Elizabeth Day had one question in the chat. So I will just go ahead and read that out, or unless, oh no, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say she answered it as I was typing, so I feel kind of silly, but I would love to hear more about your experience as a chemical engineer. And, you know, here, at least at my institution, chemistry and engineering are even in separate colleges, so we don't talk to each other at all. What are some ways that we can like co-teach or create projects, create opportunities for our students from your perspective that would really help benefit our students? Thank you.
I don't know if I understood it correctly. Was that a question?
Sorry, I'm bad at that. I'm just curious if you could talk a little bit more about connecting chemistry and engineering in our bachelor's curriculum, please.
So okay, yes. Well, I don't think I'm at a level that I'll be able to say, let's go, this is how we're going to connect engineering and chemistry. But we definitely have a few ideas, and alone the fact that just having the professors talk to each other and let's start a project or the workshop, that would be for me a perfect example of the ability to connect chemistry and engineering, because that is something in our case now where students can just go out and make their own curriculum, make their own content, and being able to work on engineering and implement chemistry in it. So engineer something that is chemical. And to have to be able to, yeah, to combine these, I think something extremely specific I wouldn't be able to probably yeah, say anything to that like that. But that's definitely something that we still need to work on. It's something that has bothered me since semester 2 or 3 in university, and is definitely things that we are also currently talking to professors and many people, young students who are also working for professors, to just get like a foot into it and try to see where we can start implementing the different department.
Excellent, thank you. So I think just in the interest of time, we're going to move on to our next segment of the Green Chemistry Connections, but please join me in thanking Clara, and you will get the chance to ask her more questions in the breakout rooms too. So I don't want to take that opportunity away from anyone. So for now, I'm just going to quickly share my screen here. And this next segment of the connections, if everyone can see my screen, is called Bring Your Own Resource or Request. And so what will happen is that you will all be put into random breakout groups with each other. And this is really the time that we like to allocate in the connections for everyone to network with each other and connect with each other. If you want to bring a green chemistry resource, talk about that in your groups, then you can do that, or you can request that folks can bring you a resource the next time that we meet together for the connections as well. So really, this is our time to kind of share and get to know one another. So Juliana behind the scenes should have been doing the breakout rooms. And so you'll see a prompt on your screen to push you into a breakout group. So just some general guidelines. definitely make sure that everyone in your room gets a chance to kind of talk and share. And please have fun getting to know each other. So we will start the breakout rooms now.